How's it going, traders? It's Papa Wall Street back with another weekend review. Today we're going to look at some of the top charts I'm watching for next week, as well as some updates to some previous trade ideas that I've put out. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button below so you can get these actionable trade ideas as they come out. And if you can, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about these videos. Also, feel free to watch these videos on 1.5 if you feel like I'm talking too slow. And of course, please keep in mind, this is not financial advice. These are only for entertainment purposes only. So let's dig into the charts. Something to keep in mind, we do have FOMC on Wednesday. And those days are always going to be tricky in terms of volatility and price action. It's always best to not trade on those days unless you're a scalper or you're just taking some quick day trades. But the price moves can be pretty violent and volatile. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, I think also if you missed my market review with the ETFs, certainly take a look at the link in the video. It should be up above right now. And also I will put it down below in the comments. So that's more of your indexes as well as the sector ETFs. So let's dig into these charts. No real trade plans outside of what I've already put out. I think we're still in that time period where we just need to be cautious, just be patient. The market looks like it wants lower, and that's fine. It'll bottom out. We'll get some really great prices on some of the names that we've all talked about over the last couple of years. And we'll look back in 5 years and say, those buying the dip on that particular opportunity looked pretty smart. We just don't know where the bottom is yet, and so we don't want to guess. But I wouldn't mind missing a little bit of the bottom as long as I'm catching the wave up higher. So let's take a look at AMR. This is Alta Mese Resources. And you can see we had some hidden bullish divergence down here. And that's basically when RSI is making lower lows, where at the same time period price are making higher lows. That's generally a divergence, and you can catch moves like we see here to the upside. You're also getting that hidden bullish divergence continuing here with another low and another higher low here with a low and a lower low. We also had a little 2-dot squeeze that fired off on that move up, but it's looking like Alta Mese Resources, ticker AMR, wants to push higher. I think right now the key obstacle is that 1618 extension at 157.52. I think if we get over that level, it opens up 170 and then 190 to the upside. But I will be keeping an eye on this week. Next up is ticker AR. This is Antero Resources. It's been one of the better trades so far this year. Caught that initial breakout over 2170, added to the position over 2617. Now, another flag breakout. Now we're pulling back. We're back testing the 21 EMA and bounced off that 2618 extension. Also, lower lows on RSI, higher lows here on price, bullish hidden divergence. It is signaling that this might want to go higher. I would watch over these highs at $36 to potentially target $39 to the upside. Next up is ARLP. You can see this one's also been on a steady incline. We did try to break that 2618 extension. We broke it, last, on Thursday, and then Friday put in a bearish engulfing. Looks like we have earnings coming up pretty early this week. So obviously no trades, but I think if we get a pushback maybe to that 21 moving average, that might be an opportunity to catch a move, or even potential back test again in the coming weeks to 1491, that 1618 extension to the downside or extension to the upside. That might be an area also to watch. But right now, just watching it into earnings. Next up is CEIX, Consol Energy. Have a trade alert that's still active for a daily close over 50.51. You could see we tagged that level right here. This also has earnings, I believe, on Tuesday or Wednesday. So no trade before earnings, but certainly going to be watching, again, the levels that I've noted below if we drop, or the levels above that we could potentially see as acting as potential resistance if we get up there. Next up is DAL. As I mentioned, airliners have been watching them for a couple of weeks now. And you could see we already had earnings right here. Nice move off of the 200 simple moving average. We came back into the 21 moving average here. Didn't quite test it, but watch for a potential ABC move into this level before we push higher, or just wait for $46. Over 46, you could target 50, and then 56 to the upside. Next up is EXEL. This is EXEL. Yeah, you can see right here, it's got a nice flag setting up. We got earnings next week, bullish hidden divergence. We've got a squeeze setting up. I mean, it's got all the hallmarks for a stock that looks like it's ready to move. We're even back testing these prior highs here at $22. So this one looks really good. Obviously a little cautious with earnings next week, but watch to see if it makes an early move this week. Maybe get a little bit of an earnings run into earnings, but let's just keep a close eye on it. Next up is GoPro. This is a name I have not mentioned in a long time. I mean, we're talking years. Not my favorite setup this week, but can't deny the inverse head and shoulders. I like this back over 933. You just got to be cautious with the 200 simple moving average right here. And we also have earnings coming up, I believe. Let's just double check the earnings date. That's going to be this week. So watch for a gap. If we gap over the 200, that might be an interesting area watching these levels above. But if we don't, then I would just stay away from GoPro. Next up is JXN. This is Jackson Financial. I think another one that I've had a trade alert open for just about a month now. It came up back here into, right here into this level. It just never broke out. And now we've got a little bit of a cup and handle forming here. So it's still an active trade, but again, another one that has earnings coming up next week. So we may not get there, but I just wanted to reiterate this trade. The setup still looks pretty good. We may have to wait till after earnings. Next up is KNBE. This is no B4. Another inverse head and shoulders on 2510 with a squeeze setting up over 50 RSI. So this one looks pretty good as well. But, it's been tangled with our moving averages for quite some time now. But over 2510, daily close looks pretty good. Next up is LBRT. This is Liberty Energy. Zooming out. I would just watch for a move over 1783. Obviously, we got the initial breakout here after earnings, but it fell right back down. And anytime you get like these types of breakouts, this is why I always say it's always important to wait for the close of the day, because you get this false breakout. And let's say you bought in on the breakout, but you held. Well, you're continuing to hold in the red now because you're still under 1783. So we're back testing the 21 moving average. That looks pretty decent, but right now I think you just have to wait for a daily close over 1783. Next one is SBOW. Nice rounded base here. We back tested the breakout on 3483. Came back up to that first target. Another one that has earnings coming up on May 4th. So I think we have to wait for after earnings, but I think any move down to 34.83 that holds, I think that's also a good place to buy with a tight stop at maybe $33, or back over 38.28, targeting 43 to the upside. Next up is SOI, another pretty big flag set up here. Hidden bullish divergence, slingshot, TTM squeeze. I like this over 1166. You do have to watch 1207. Those are the previous highs. We are just past earnings, so no worries about that. And then targets would be 1317 and 1508 to the upside. Next up is STNG. This is another name that's bucking the trend right now. Caught it through 1946. It back tested mid last week. Closed out the week over our second target and watching to see if we could hold over 24.68. Could target 28.39 and 33.10 to the upside. Next up is TALO. This is Talos Energy. We initially took the breakout trade here, back tested, got stopped out. Now we're coming back up to the trigger at 1873. I think it's still good to take. If you do take it again, watch out. We do have earnings coming up, but we also have this high at 2059. So I think, over 2039 might be a decent play as well if we gap over on earnings. But here are your levels up above: 2196, 2316, and 2582. Next up is another airliner name. This is UAL, United Airlines. We gapped over the downtrend line here on earnings. We back tested it and bounced. I like this over 5102, which is our 618 retrace, for a move up to 56 and over 56 to 63. And last but not least is WMB. This is Williams Company. Again, what I liked about this chart, look at the pullbacks to RSI 50 here, here, and here. Higher low, higher low, higher low, all back over the 21. This does have earnings, I think, actually it might be tomorrow. So watch this after earnings. Watch for either a pullback to the 50 simple moving average here in blue, or for a push back over the 21, targeting 35 and then 39 to the upside. So that's what I got. If you did miss my market overview video, I'll leave a link up above as well as down below. And let me know what you think about these videos. Like I said, if you can, leave a comment down below, like, share, whatever you can do to help me get the word out. A lot of new names this week. I think it's just been week after week, it's been harder and harder to find good relative strength names. And, the less that I'm seeing of them, the more likely I feel like a bottom might be coming soon. So just be patient. We might have another week or two. I think really important, FOMC on Wednesday. I think that will give us a little bit of guidance in the short term. Maybe they'll do a rate announcement. We'll see. But just be safe out there. Be patient out there. Exercise proper risk management. And I will catch you in the markets later.